Oh, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here on the panel as the one and only Bridgeman and the legend that is Rudy Bear. Evening, gents.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridgeman.
Can I say a big good evening to you guys in the panel? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yeah, famous. How we doing, Bridge boy?
All right, pal. All right.
Really good. Not heard too much today. Obviously, I know it was a bad result, but it never managed to put you off your food. But you back to normal now, mate? You look forward to Sunday's game? You apprehensive?
I'm a wee bit apprehensive. I'm still looking forward to it as well, though, Ox. I've got to get the 3 points, so I've got to get a win. You know, hopefully they'll have had a bit of a chat to themselves after the performance on Wednesday, right? You know, I thought up until the first 20 minutes, you know, I thought we played fairly well. I thought there was some slick moves, nice passing going on, you know. And when Defoe gets the goal, I'm thinking we could go and score in a couple of goals here. Could end up quite a comfortable win. I haven't got a clue, Ox, what happened to them after that when they equalised.
Barcelona for 20 minutes, dug and ducked for the next 70.
Aye, they just fell apart, didn't they? Yeah. And what Joe Worrell thought he was doing, I listened back to the archives. I know he's already discussed it. But honestly, what Worrell was thinking, he had absolute acres of space. I haven't got a clue what the boy was thinking of. But even at that, Ox, you know, they equalised with a huge mistake off of Joe Worrell. We've still got another 60-odd minutes in that game to go on and win the game. And we just couldn't. We had nothing, you know.
We imploded, Rudy.
Very surprising, Ox. It really was, because I would have thought after the game on the 29th, and we saw how well they played. They had a bit of time off, then they went away, had a bit of training in the sun. I would have thought they'd have been jumping at the bit to get back at it again.
One swallow does not make a honeymoon, Bridgeman.
No. Shocker, boy, shocker. But you're right, and Rudy's right. We said about it last night, and there was some difference of opinions in different places. Maybe because of our some more in favour of staying away from the controversy. But people do have to discuss, and the boys were discussing it last night. And just what you said, Rudy. You know, when you see it and you see that the replay of it, and you think, and I think Ox there had managed to get one of the boys to put something in the lobby, and you see that photograph, and he's like 30 yards from nobody, you know, not a soul near him. And how 2 minutes later, or less than that, 10 seconds later, the boss he's lost the ball and away he goes. Just incredible. So unfortunately for him, it's happened. I'm hoping. I think I read somewhere that the manager is expecting them to turn that around. So he must be going to play him in Sunday. That's the only thing I can think.
I hope he's right, Bridgeman, because I don't know. I think the boy thought he was Maldini for some reason. You know what I mean?
Maldini.
He's certainly, in my opinion, you know, one of my all-time favourite players. But I don't know what he was thinking. But in fairness to him, though, Bridge, I mean, as huge a mistake as it was, we still had plenty of time to go on and win that game after it. So there's
no doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Did you ever hear the story about when Maldini watched the Bridge video, Rudy?
Right.
Did you ever hear the story, Rudy?
No, I haven't.
He watched the Bridge video and he says, right, I'm not going to play football, anything like that.
And he didn't. Even at his worst.
But it is a true fact, though, Ox. We had plenty of time to go on and win that game, you know, after that.
Mate, we just imploded, mate. And like everybody else, when we lost the goal, we still thought we were favourites to win the game because we didn't that much in control, but we never.
No.
The rest of the first half and then the second half would just get worse.
That's right. It was just I couldn't believe what I was watching, Ox, in all honesty. As I said, I'd have thought they'd have been buzzing at their nut to get back on the field again, you know. I mean, you get the Cowdenbeath game cancelled. You know, so I would have thought they'd be itching to get it Kilmarnock, put a really good performance on, some nice football. It seemed to be one of their nights where everything was just wrong. The bad mistake for the boy Worrell. Steven Gerrard, has to shoulder some of the responsibility, but you still got to look at the 11 players that played in the game. You know what I mean? That started the game in that first half. They've got to take a long, hard look at themselves as well. It's not just down to the manager. You can't just blame the formation. The best man in the park for me was young Ryan Kent. He was the best man on the park for me. I mean, Alfie wasn't too bad. He was trying his best, but he got little or no service. Had Alfie scored the goal, it came off the post, the header, it came off the post, it might have been different. You're 2-0 up then, so it could have been different. But it was just
goals change games, really. Goals change games, Yeah. If we would have scored that second goal, we could have run out the comfortable winners that you said at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew what we have to hope is that there's nothing lingering, with them with the good Sunday against Livingston. The 3 points is absolutely imperative now. We can't be slipping any further down the league table now. We'll have to get the 3 points at the weekend.
Bridgeman, what are you making the Blue Shadows comment in the lobby about the centre backs? Did you find that true?
Let me just go and have a wee look. Someone once said that centre backs were just fat kids. Oh, that's a terrible thing to say, isn't it? That couldn't play football but wouldn't go and goal. Oh, dear, Blue Shadow. What on earth are you? Very controversial. I'll assume he's going to deny he said it. Does this apply to Worrell? Oh, that's terrible saying that about Worrell. Oh, my God. Blue Shadow, you weren't shooting for that, boy. That's a shocker. You all know, everybody comes into this forum and has ever heard me saying it, you all know what I've been saying. We do not have a centre-half that's worthy of the name. We thought that Alves was going to come over and do some wonderful things, and it hasn't happened. And I've been asking, screaming, since Gerrard came in, please get me the big 6'5" left-footed, hard man at a centre-back, because all we're doing is we're getting bullied with guys who are 6 inches smaller and with less weight as well. That young boy last night at Brophy absolutely bullied young Worrell. Bullied him.
He got in his head.
Sorry?
He got in his head.
Absolutely, pal, absolutely. Yeah. And it's a sin, because he doesn't deserve it,
Anyway, so we're starting to look forward, really, and as you said, again, now that you were maybe hoping to be looking forward to, there's a wee bit of apprehension about it.
Yeah.
Pitch. For him, we've only won in the last 4 league games.
Aye. Well, I was talking to my nephew the day, but he's up for the game. He's going to the game at the weekend. He came up for a coffee earlier on, and we were sitting having a chat, and it hadn't actually dawned on me until he mentioned it. Since the beginning of December, up until Wednesday night there, we've had 10 games. We've only won 4 games out of the 10 Ox. That's not good enough, unfortunately, So the last thing we need today is to go to Livingston and slip up at the weekend. We've already slipped up against them on that shoddy pitch of theirs. We've all made it play what we feel about these plastic pitches, but regardless of that, we still have the quality players to be able to go, and hopefully to go there, put on a good performance, And as Bridgeman keeps saying, I would like to see a 3 or 4-0 gubbin. For me, that would be a step in the right direction. But as Bridgeman has often said, the 1-0 will do as long as we just get the 3 points at this. We're at a stage in the season now where every point we pick up is going to be important, So really just getting the 3 points at the weekend is big time for us now, because we slipped up so badly on Wednesday night,
Yeah. And by the way, it was very remiss of me before the show, and I know we banter and we take the mickey at each other, but all Fox is 100%, and I'd like to send hope my mate gets better for the weekend and enjoys the football on Sunday.
Here.
Well said, Oxley. Well said.
I get that, Rudy. It's a game we should go into. Newly promoted club who have done okay. If I'm really honest, the beat is quite comfortable at the place to start of the season.
Oh, I did. Listen, they didn't half Ox. We just a couple of weeks back there, you reckon the Dundee game was probably one of the worst performances. For me, it was definitely Livingston. If you had to say pick one of the worst performances of the season, I would have picked the Livingston game, Ox. I just thought we were absolutely terrible that day.
Bridgeman, this team, Livingston, Dundee, Celtic, Rapid Vienna, the Spanish team, Villarreal. It's
they've all beat us quite, they've all played well against us, you know.
No, what I'm saying is we've had great performances and we look a good team.
Sorry. Yeah,
and then other teams, we look as if, where are we with this project, you know?
Well, I think last night, that I must say, I hinted on it last night anyway. You watch that again, I watched some highlights of it, and you could see that, in my opinion, we should just have retreated. We should have got our goal. And after the shall we say, the chance that Morelos created with a header, and that one never went in, I think we should have just stepped back a wee bit and played more defensively. Give everybody a chance. I know, just close it down a wee bit, tighten things up, because we should have been saying to ourselves, we're not going to lose this game. We're not going to lose a goal. We've got 3 points in the bag here. Don't lose it. Things that you said to each other when you were playing football. Don't lose this now. Come on, everybody. Just after you score, come on, boys. Don't lose it now. Keep concentration. Unfortunately, we never. That's the things I get disappointed with. It's elementary stuff, Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Rudy's right. Oxchair, Rudy's right. We should have pumped them last night. They were there. We knew we could do it. We scored 1 goal. We should have went and scored a lot more goals. But it just didn't happen for us. It didn't happen.
Did you get my point? Performances up there, really good. We'll come on waxing lyrical. We're saying he's a good player, what again, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks later, you're like, we were hopeless.
Like a different team, Ox, isn't it? You can look at the 2 Villarreal performances. You can look at the performance against Rapid Vienna, Ibrox. Fantastic performances in Europe. You can look at the game against the Tims. Great performance. The 2-1 defeat at the beginning of December against Hearts. The second half, we played so well. Played some really good football. Put them under loads of pressure. Got the 2-1 win. And then you look at the performances like last night, Wednesday night against Kelly. You can look at Dundee, you can look at Livingston, and it's like a different team. And it's something that they lack. They really do lack consistency right now, Ox. We know they've got it. We know they can do it. We've saw them. We've watched them do it. I mean, we went down to 10 men at Ibrox against Villarreal and managed to hold out for a point there, against one of the best teams in La Liga. And yet we struggle to beat Livingston. We struggle to beat Kelly. We struggle to beat Dundee with 10 men. I don't get it. And it's just down to consistency for me, Ox. It really is. They have to find in this second half of the season. They've already chucked 3 points away on Wednesday night. We can't keep doing that. That's really got to stop. We've done too much of that in the first half of the season.
Fair comment, mate.
They've got to find consistency in the Ox.
Well, if people want to join us and look forward, look back, or talk about anything Rangers, what's the number, Rudy?
It's 014135356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Bridge?
Then a Bridge, man.
They can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online, where they can brought into the call by the one and only Old School Blue. See what I've done there?
I've just said that there.
You
hear me?
I know what I'm talking, his tummy feels like.
I know. I think I was on mute at the time.
Nobody say talking about dummies. We've been joined by JFK. Some people would think that.
No, don't say that.
I possibly wouldn't comment.
I don't think JFK is a star man.
How you doing, guys? How you doing, Jim?
Hi, Jimmy.
How you doing?
Hi, Bridgeman. Hi, Rudy.
You're a positive guy. You always have been, Jimmy, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a moaner at times, but I'm positive.
Nah, never heard it, Jimmy.
Before I just hope my good pal Foxes, I hope he's keeping a bit better. I don't know if he's listening. I'll just get well soon, pal.
It's not 100%, mate. I believe the supply of it's Goose and Grey was mentioned, but I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, must be carried on for Wednesday.
Right.
I've been listening to you guys here in the last 15 minutes, and there's not really much I can disagree with. You hit it in the head there, Oxshire. I mean, the couple of weeks before the Puddle Drinkers game, we were slagging the team, but we weren't enamoured by the performance. And then when we beat the Puddle Drinkers, we were world beaters. Now we've done this on Wednesday night against Kilmarnock, and it hurts, but let's hope they bounce back in Sunday. I mean, I know it's no happening on...
Can you put your finger on it, JFK?
Well, I don't really know if anybody can, apart from anybody inside Ibrox, Oxford. I mean, we go and see Rangers and we watch them whenever whatever platform we're watching them on, we take part in discussions like this and we dissect every move and everything that happens. But we've all got our own ideas of how things should work. But the manager and the assistant obviously know better than he is. But I'm not going to line this line. There is a couple of people who say to me, a parliament says to me this morning, "Oh, do you think there's unrest in the dressing room?" I says, "I don't think there is." It doesn't come across that to me. I know there may or may not be some sort of problem with the manager and Barisic. I might be wrong in that. I don't know if he feels that maybe, I'm not saying he's feigning injury, but he's maybe making too much of an injury. But hey ho, we'll soon see what happens on Sunday if he puts him in the team or no. There's no really one thing you can put your finger on. I mean, we all know that what happened on Wednesday night, we were too narrow. Candace and Kent spreading the game wasn't there for us, and the first 20 minutes of formation was working great, and then we imploded after that.
Excuse me, mate, just got a call. Somebody's trying to phone in, is phoning an old call. You want to phone Rangers Radio. Carry on, JFK.
Well, just, I mean, as the guys were saying there last night, and you know, that the buck stops at the manager, and of course it does, but we're not going to have a knee-jerk reaction, you know. I mean, he's going to be good to the end of this season and the end of next season to try and get a team capable of winning at least a trophy. And we all know what trophy we want to win. We all jumped on the bandwagon when they brought Stephen Davis and Jermaine Defoe, and I was one of them. I put my hand up. Couldn't believe it, the performance on Wednesday night. All Defoe done was scored a goal, and after that he looked very leggy. Stephen Davis was playing well, but he ran out of gas a bit. So, can you put the finger on it? To be honest, I can't see.
Stephen Davis and Defoe weren't playing against Hibs, they weren't playing against Livingston, they weren't playing against Dundee, they weren't playing against Kilmarnock.
I know that. So that's what I'm saying, Oxford. No, is there an underlying, as I say, a parliament say that to me, do you think there's an underlying problem in the dressing room? I don't think there is.
No, damn it. But I think there's something that you put a finger on. We've been joined by the global ambassador. Evening, Al.
Good evening, gentlemen. I've got a theory for you.
I've
got a theory for you. I was out walking this morning and I had a bit of an epiphany and it came to me. Do you think Gerrard, his Rangers team, is reflective of the teams that he played for, mentality-wise, for Liverpool? They always seem to pull it out the bag with the big teams when he was on the Liverpool team at that time, but they would drop stupid points, and that's why they were never successful in the period of time that Manchester United was successful. Do you think that's the end of the day? We just like his upbringing, if you get what I mean, in regards to how he was.
Great point.
Football was. I know it's a great point, Jimmy.
As an individual, he was a winner, mate.
I know as an individual, but as a team, he played in teams that were always pretty successful against the big teams. But where he faltered, or the Liverpool Football Club faltered, and he was a part of it, was against the lesser teams that they should have been. They were drawn away. I'm just using teams here. They say they were drawn away to a Crystal Palace, or they were maybe getting a beat off a Cardiff. I'm not sure of the teams at the time, but you get what I'm saying. Then they would pull it out the bag. They'd beat Man United 4-0.
Beat Man United 4-0.
Then they beat Arsenal. Aye. So maybe a mentality thing on his behalf. He can't get it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, it's a theory. I mean, it's never crossed my mind.
It's a cracker, man, eh?
All right, thanks for the call, Al.
Right, no problem, gentlemen. Can you see it? Oh, is that the Roadster there?
Aye, don't ask me what Huddersfield's tea. Of course we know what Huddersfield night. Of course we know.
Rudy, I was listening the other night there, man. There was a boy making a ham sandwich and a cup of coffee. Is he trying to cut your grass?
I missed it, mate, I know.
And who was the man that was on saying, did you cut the crust off? What heathen is that? You cut the crust off. Get the crust eaten, man.
I can assure you, Al, it wasn't me. I don't waste anything, mate. You know
Correct, man. Correct. That's a heathen.
It's brilliant, by the way. It's brilliant.
Best part of the chips are crust.
Aye. Definitely. But just sorry, if you'd let me have. What did you say? Crust's the best bit, man, isn't it?
Bridges a fan, man.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan now.
Can't get them here.
That's a bit of a theory.
You should be banned breed, but anyway, doesn't. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Pick up. You and your theories. Rudy, what about that theory? I mean, I get where he's coming from, but could you put it down to make it even simpler? He's right about Steven Gerrard, but he's maybe saying pretty factual, but could it be that he's still inexperienced?
Of course he is. He's had half a season as a manager. And half a season as manager, not just at any ordinary football club. He's half a season with one of the biggest clubs in the world and the most successful club in the world. You know, the weight of expectation on him as a young manager is absolutely huge, Ox. It's huge, you know. There's managers with, more experience than Steven Gerrard has come in and not done so well at Rangers. You can go back to the likes of Paul Le Guen, who was a shining light of European football at the time. You know, so it's such a massive job. It's got to weigh heavily on his shoulders. So he's got the confidence as a young manager to take the job on, a young, inexperienced manager to take such a massive job on. And it might just take him a bit longer to get it right, Ox, than we want it to be. But unfortunately, that might just be the way it's going to be, you know. I mean, one of the guys said earlier there about, I think it was Jimmy who said he's got to be given to the end of next season. I agree 100% with that, Ox. You can't wait. You can't get to the end of this. I mean, I saw some ridiculous stuff said on social media in the last couple of days, and I don't agree with any of it. You've got to wait for a couple of seasons. He's got a 4-year contract. You have to give him a couple of seasons to build a full squad of players that he properly wants to be at this club. That he wants.
I'm a fan of Steven Gerrard, but he's no exempt for criticism.
That's not what I'm saying, Ox. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But when some people start calling for him to be sacked,
no,
at the end of this season, and I've saw it on social media, Ox.
He's brought the feel-good factor back. All right, he told us that there's going to be bumps in the road. Bridge, come off of mute.
Yeah, I think that listen, when you watch through Rangers
Bridge,
media,
you're still on mute.
Oh no.
All right,
no, he's not.
When you look through the social media sites, the Rangers ones, you find that it's mixed, but mostly are very supportive of Steven Gerrard. But at the same time, they know there was a mistake made by team selection and shape last night. Most people would say they should have started with the same team or similar to the team and shape that we had against Celtic, because that worked a treat for us. And if necessary, didn't bother playing either Davis or Defoe. So, or you could do a mixture of them, whatever you want to call it, but keep the same shape and the same, shall we say, the same midfield to all intents and purposes, because they were the ones that were in everybody's face. But it didn't happen. The manager's made his mind up. He thought he could go away with that, and he proved, unfortunately, one of the players he put on scored the goal, so we can't say too much about that. He's the one that got the goal. I think Rudy mentioned earlier it looked like Stephen Davis started to run out of legs. That's a possibility. And it looked as if Defoe maybe had already started running out of legs before that, but no so noticeable. But the manager made his decision, and I think, in all honesty, at the end of the day, he was badly let down by our key defenders, including the goalkeeper. I think he was badly let down. But that's not to say he was right about the shape. There's a lot of folk think he made a mistake with the shape. That's what I think.
Hi, Big Al. It's easy to be wise in hindsight, eh?
Oh, definitely. Look, it was a bit of comedy errors, but You touched on a wee bit earlier. I mean, you've got your Dundee game, the Livingston game prior to that, the Kilmarnock. I'm not saying Kilmarnock are at their level, but it's games I think we should be winning. I hope nothing. There's not a pattern forming here. We're all right in regards to. He is a young manager. He has to learn. We've got to give him time. Sometimes you maybe look at it and think, well, is he learning? Is he not learning? Surely, I think he's a wise enough man. He's learning for this. I hope he's not stubborn. You know what I mean? We're not changing it. I think I'm right. You know what I mean? I think he's modern enough and his mindset to change things. Like these things happen. The boy, was it written by the gods that the boy Jones was going to score? You know what I mean? He scored it. Aye, so McGregor should have done far better. But how was he not? See, Macaulay's coming off Jones, the big boy Worrell, man, that was an absolute disaster. These things happen, but is it pattern forming in regards to Worrell as well? And why so much? I think it was the Cushy Rudger Hauer was mentioning last night when him and Jimmy were speaking, and I took both their points. I think they were both excellent points that they both were having. But what's happening with Katic? And I'm sure it was Cushy that said, look, I've got guys working for me, and I've got full-time employees, and I've got guys for an agency. I'm not saying I'm selective, but I want my full-time employees to be getting the perk jobs, you know what I'm saying? And I'll get the other monkeys to do the crap. Don't get me wrong, you'll get a monkey coming in now and again that does a good job for you, so you put him in a prominent position. But I think whatever's happening...
Remember, you're only a champion here, Al. That means a monkey.
I'm like a gorilla. If I'm making sense, I think it's
you want to develop the people that are going to be with you. Aye.
Just a couple of things that Worrell said as well. Like, I mean, he really needs to be taken into the office and say, look, son, you're not as good as you fucking... sorry for swearing. You're not as good as you think you are. So you maybe want to pull your neck in a wee bit, concentrate on the simple things, and you maybe get somewhere. Because as I'm looking at it, I see Worrell going back to Nottingham Forest. Is he good enough to get into a Nottingham Forest team? Because at the moment, he's certainly no. I don't think he's playing for us. I think there's a wee bit of favouritism there. But also, he's mentioned he wants to play in the English Premiership. The way you're going, son, there's no chance of that. You're not going to get to the top league. I'll be playing in some
Premiership in England, but it might be the Northern Premiership. Anyway.
Aye. Good.
We've also been joined by Blue Shadow. Evening, Blue.
Evening, boy. How we going?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Give me a theory. Midfield was strong enough last night, pure and simple. Like I said, there's no ball winners in it last night.
McCrory, mate.
I'm afraid that's what I said. I said that on the Tuesday night. Something like McCrory. Well, the thing was as well is if you looked at, I mean, the manager showed his inexperience because for me, what is the point in having McCrory and Koulibaly on the bench? You think they're both central defensive midfielders. You only need one, and on top of which you had other players which could have filled in that position anyway. There was, I think I had four defensive players, including the central defensive midfielders, and two attacking options and a goalkeeper. Now, in a game like that, you're going to have, you know that something like that can happen where you're going to need a goal. So why has he not got more attacking options on the bench? Even if it's young Andy Dallas, why did he send Ryan Hardy back out on loan or Zach Rudden out on loan? At least have somebody else that can come in and give you a hand when you need it, rather than just leaving yourself short all the time, which he appears to have done again for me. Picking up with, I came out eventually on Rudy's comments going on about that, the manager's got to be given time. If you look at the manager's record, leaving Europe aside, which we did wonderfully well in, if you look at the domestic record against what Pedro did, there's no that much difference. And I'm afraid, I don't think it can get that much worse before people are going to start asking serious questions for me.
Ooh. Anyway, on that thought, we'll hear from our manager, Steven Gerrard, MD.
You got him in the studio?
Rudge's got something in his knee.
Can you ask him if he eats his crust?
All right. Well, he's got a good mop of hair, all Stevie, ain't he? Get yourself a mute, and we'll hear from Steven Gerrard, MD, along with Ryan Jack.
Then is it a case of getting a reaction from your players going into this one?
100%. That's what I'm looking for, individually and collectively. Very disappointing result for us the other night. Performance was very strong for 20 minutes. And then after the mistake we made, it was nowhere near the level that I expect. So yes, that's what I've asked the players for since the last defeat, and hopefully they can put that into practice at the weekend.
What sort of reaction did you get in training today, and has there been anything specific you've been working on?
Training was quite split today in terms of the starters from Kilmarnock were on more of a second day, so they were doing a very light session, which they were all fine. No injuries from the last game, and then the lads that needed more of a top-up trained very well. It was the intensity and the quality that I was looking for. So yeah, satisfied with today's session.
As a manager, is there a sense of frustration knowing how good you can be, like that Celtic game, and then what happened in the latter stages at Kilmarnock?
Yes, there's definitely a frustration, but you know, obviously each game's different, each scenario is different. You know, an Old Firm game at home it's completely different from going to Kilmarnock on a different surface against a different challenge, if you like. So I'm not naive enough to think that just because we've beat Celtic and performed at a very high level, I'm going to get that every single game. But we do certainly need to improve in terms of being more consistent.
In terms of away form though as well, is that something that, does it still concern you? I know there's other teams that haven't been as convincing away from home this season, but do you feel that you still have to improve on the road?
Yeah, but you know, I still look at our home form as well, and we've had a couple of bumps, so we're always trying to improve both home and away. It's more the finding the consistency that's the most important thing. I've got confidence in the team that we're capable of going anywhere and getting the right results, but the players have to go and prove themselves. What is important is that we react from the Kilmarnock thing and get back to winning ways and go and put in a good performance.
Do you think there's a mindset in the team that maybe you need to deal with at times as well? I know you came into the game against Kilmarnock after the winter break, but it was after taking all the plaudits for the game against Celtic that happened a couple of times before in the season when you've gone top of the league and then maybe the next game hasn't gone the way.
I think if there was alarming things that came out against Kilmarnock, if there was alarming things that concern me in terms of the mindset, then yes, but we started the game very well. We played some really good stuff, took the lead, got ourselves into a really good place. We gifted Kilmarnock 2 goals and gifted them the points. I'm not sure that's totally down to just mindset. No, I wouldn't say that.
Do you have to put an arm around Joe after a difficult evening for him and try and sort of protect him and sort of build him back up again?
No, I don't think Joe's that insecure where he's going to need a cuddle or an arm round from me. He's a big boy, you know. People make mistakes. He's human. I'm more interested in his reaction and you know, what he's going to give in terms of performance moving forward. That's the key. We all make mistakes. It's that's the game. It's how you react from them.
In terms of Livingston, you had a difficult afternoon at their place last time, and what lessons did you learn from?
Well, we didn't perform. We didn't perform well enough in a lot of departments. It was a game that we spoke about in a lot of detail after the game, and the reaction from that game was very good. So we have to learn our lessons from Livingston, that you can't just go to Livingston and expect to win. You've got to go and earn the right. They're a good team, they're organised, very difficult to beat, physical and you know, quite direct. So it's another challenge for the team. But I'm confident if we react in the right way from Kilmarnock, we'll find a performance that is good enough.
You have to try and get the guys to get in their heads that the sort of intensity that they played with in the Old Firm game, that has to be the sort of the base level for every game. They can bring it out of themselves, even if the atmosphere and the occasion isn't quite the same.
Yeah, I think they know that. I think they're a good group. They're a bright set of lads. I think they understand that, you know, the standard we're looking for is the performance we got at the Old Firm. But what you have to understand is each challenge is different. some teams don't allow you to do that, and different places in the league create different challenges and problems for you. So we just need to take each game as it comes and make sure that we're ready for the challenge of Livingston at the weekend.
Do you expect the minutes that Stephen and Jermaine got in them will be of benefit to them this weekend?
I'm sure it will. They haven't played much football of late. I've said on a couple of occasions I'll have to manage them in terms of their game time. And they're here for the next 6 months, not the next 6 games. So that's down to me to manage and make sure I use them in the right way. But what is a fact is that the recovery takes a little bit longer after you've put in a shift on a plastic pitch. So not just with them two, with everyone, that is on my mind at the moment.
Stephen, when you're going back to a venue again, this sort of repetitive nature of Scottish football now, how do you see it when you go back to Livingston for a second time? Different challenges or the same challenges? Or
I think it'll be pretty similar. We think tactically and their game plan will be pretty similar because they got a successful result out of us last time. So it's down to us to maybe find a different way to try and play at a better level, and hopefully the game plan that we have will be more successful than it was last time.
For you, not having that experience in terms of your playing career, it's usually you play teams in the league twice in a season. How do you find that, or how are you finding the playing each other 4 times and again coming up against these teams regularly?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I knew the situation when I come in that there was only 12 teams, and it is quite strange in terms of the fixtures that you play some teams away twice and once before the split at the end, but it is what it is. I'm told it comes out of a computer, and we just have to accept that and get on with it.
Has Wednesday given you any further thought on the system? Obviously with 2 up top against Kilmarnock, played different systems throughout the season. Has that given you any more?
We'll play different systems as we go along. I'll play a system that I think can go and get a positive result. I think the system that we chose at Kilmarnock was doing really, really well before we gifted them the chance to get back into the game. We also, for the final stages of that game, used a completely different formation that couldn't get us an equaliser. So you can talk about tactics and formations for as long as you want. The reality is it's my job to pick a game plan and a system that I think will work, but what I will say is that won't be the same every single game.
How's Connor?
He won't be ready for Livingston.
Yeah. Sorry, any other teams?
No fresh injury problems from Kilmarnock, so squad's reasonably healthy at the moment. Nothing else to report.
Just wondering, during that game against Kilmarnock, the man sat next to you, there's a challenge by him and Brophy. Have you had another look at that, and so have you had any thoughts at all on that? Yes,
I've seen it, but there's nothing we can do to change the decision, what happened on there. But if you're asking me, do I think there should have been a card involved, then my answer is yes.
In terms of bringing Andy in today, what can you tell us about him and Andy Firth and his role as a goalkeeper, another addition? What can you tell us about?
Well, we've just allowed Andy Dallas and Robbie McCrory to join Morton on loan for experience and their development, which I think is very important. It's very difficult to keep Robbie here if he's desperate to play football matches. So we had to be fair to him and respectful, so we'll go and get 6 months experience of playing for important points and in front of crowds, which will be good for him. So Andy will come in and replace Robbie in that department.
That obviously gives you 3 goalkeepers, Marinovic on trial still, I believe. Does that affect your pursuit of him at all?
Andy coming in doesn't affect that at all, not really. No, Stefan's one we're having a look at the moment, and we'll make a decision pretty soon, but we haven't come to that just yet.
Is 3 goalkeepers probably your ideal number going forward? Or?
I think the board would say that, yeah. I think the board would say that.
Are you still looking to bring others in before deadline day?
No, we've just been granted a work permit this morning for Matt Polster, so he'll go and visit France now to have that signed off. So hopefully, once the paperwork's sorted on that, he'll be added to the squad in the coming days.
Ryan, how do you sort of reflect back on Wednesday night's game?
Disappointing, of course. I think we had the day off yesterday, and it was a chance for us just to maybe chill out and maybe reflect on the game. And we came in today and we've spoke about it. The lads have spoke about it and just saying all the same things. Coming into Sunday, we want to show a reaction.
How frustrating was it, given the sort of euphoria, the sort of buzz that was generated by the Old Firm game, and not to be able to sort of continue that on?
Yeah, of course it's frustrating, but as the manager said, every game's different, every challenge is going to be different. But at the same time, it's just we just want to work hard. We want to go into Sunday, show reaction, and we get the 3 points on Sunday, and then that'll help us along the way to obviously important games coming up.
James Tavernier said after the game the other night that he felt that the team couldn't afford to drop any more points if they wanted to maintain a title challenge. I mean, does that just show you the sort of fine lines that are involved at this level? That if you want to be making challenges, you can't afford like single slip-ups.
Yeah, of course. I think spoke with a few of the boys this morning. We were saying we don't know when the last time we went on an actual winning streak and really put a consistent run together. So I think we all realise that, and going into Sunday, we just want to use that as a start to obviously, hopefully, going on that winning streak and really changing the result. Because obviously we're disappointed and there's frustration after the game, but I think you've got to just use that as motivation to go forward.
Well, thanks for that. We're all back.
Back. Yep.
Very honest as usual for Stevie G. Bridgeman, it just seemed a wee bit down for me. Maybe even disappointed, just the same as the rest of us, I suppose.
Yeah, that's you took the words out of my mouth there. It's probably just feeling the exact same as us. And I have to say, in all probability, it's a bit of a shock as well with him. He thought he was putting out what he thought was his best team, and they would play like the demons and do everything they did against Celtic. Plus, you've got the added quality in his mind anyway of Defoe and Davis, and that would just add to the team. My goodness gracious, the poor guy got a shock out of that, I'll tell you. But may I say, probably not for the first time this season, and may not even be for the last time, the way things are going. We really need to, the boys have said earlier, we really need to get a grip. We need to do it right, and we need to win and start getting points on the table, because we're getting nothing. You know, the situation in our league at the moment, and I've said this at the tail end of last season, or near the tail end of last season, we need to watch out, because you can very easily spiral down the league, very easily. Within a few weeks, you don't win 2 games, and people are on top of you before you know it. You're 5th, 6th. That nonsense, you know. So Rangers can't afford that. They really do need to win games, get points.
Let's be real honest about it, Bridge. You know, I'll take this to GFK then, Rudy. We need to win on Sunday. End of.
100%.
GFK.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, and you know it's something. Well, I think what myself, Macy's are getting fed up having to keep saying that. You know, we can't seem to be getting on a decent run next year. That's what's really galling and annoying. You know, we can't go on a 6, 7, 8, 9 game run. You know, and that's what we need. We need to try and get a bit of momentum going. And I thought after the Puddle Drinkers game that was the start of it. But again, we're sitting here and we're saying, no, as Bridge always said, 1-0 will do me, and I've said the same. But it's a must win. I think more so than previous times I've always said it, because the game in hand now is back in their favour, and if we don't, a draw's no good on Sunday. It's got to be a win, because they'll obviously will beat Hamilton by a few on Saturday, so then that puts it the onus on us on the Sunday. And if we do fall behind, then that becomes really, really harder then. No, so it is a must win. Oxford, definite 100% needs to be a 3-pointer, no matter if it's a 1-0 or a 10-0.
Aye, same for me. It's got to be a win. They don't have the luxury any longer of blaming Europe, talking Europe. You know, having to play midweek games. You know, in Europe, long travels. You know, expending a lot of energy. I got that in the first half of the season. You know, there was a hell of a lot of games played for the start of the season up to the end of the year. That's not there any longer.
Well, a European trip next week, mate.
They've got to concentrate on the Ox. That's, you know, Jimmy's right. We can't afford to fall any further behind them. They've got a game in hand. We can't afford for them to go out and scalp Hamilton at the weekend and then us to drop points at Livingston. They've been to Livingston. They've played in that pitch before. They know exactly how Livingston are going to play. Stephen Gerrard's just said it there. He expects the same kind of stuff that they faced the last time when they went there. So they know what to expect this time round. So they just can't afford to slip up. They can't persist with that dropping points the way they did in the first half of the season. They can't do the same thing in the second half. They've messed up on Wednesday night. We need a reaction off them on Sunday, and they've got to come back with the 3 points. I would like to see a 3 or 4-0 win. I doubt that'll happen though. Like Bridgman saying, the 1-0 win still gets us the 3 points, Sox.
Aye, good point, Rudy. Blue Shadow then, Big Al. Stephen Gerrard a bit flat.
He certainly sounded a bit flat, mate. He sounds like he's had a bit of pressure, whether somebody's had a word with him, Mr. Robertson or somebody's going, it's no good enough. I don't know, but certainly going on. I think the pressure's on. He knows he's got to win this game against Livingston, and he knows how much he struggled last time. What was a bit more worrying for me than anything else was the fact that he said we got a high level of performance against Celtic at Ibrox, and we can't expect that all the time. I'd like to know why not. That's the standard. They set the standard now. Now you can live up to it. Falling a wee bit short, you'll still take the 3 points. But if we fall as much short as we did against Kilmarnock the other day, that's no good enough for me.
We can't dine out on the result against the bottom feeders, can we? You know what I mean? So he's got to move on for that. Unfortunately, he couldn't give the guys a run out at Cowdenbeath, and then he had a friendly, and then he's had a shocking result. It's definitely he has to win that game. Ideally, 3 or 4, like Rudy's saying, but if it's 1-0, we'll take it. But momentum, we're gradually. He does sound down, actually. I thought that when I was listening to him. But gradually we're running out of games. So something has to change. I'm sure. I'm confident. I maybe didn't sound confident there when I said that, but I'm confident that things will get better. We've been talking about going on runs a game since Murray was in charge. You know what I mean? So at the beginning of the season, we were playing with 10 men and team couldn't beat us. What's changed, you know what I mean?
The thing is, Ryan, you mentioned it yourself there in the interview. The players have spoken about it. They can't remember the last time when they went on a run of games, so they know
that's in your head.
They know this themselves, Al.
But that's what the boss has to get that out there. Not he has to motivate these guys. Don't be thinking about that. We'll have a fresh start, but we have to move forward, guys. You have to play better. Somebody mentioned last night we don't have a physical, imposing team. Well, sorry to bring up the puddle drinkers again and the bottom feeders, but we had a physical, imposing team in that. It's not the size. You didn't need to be 6'5" to be aggressive. Yeah, the most aggressive guys I know are usually about 4.3. So get in their faces. Use your physicality. Also use your head. Do not come away for Livingston with any less than 3 points. And we try to tell ourselves, a team like us, with the quality that is in the team, with the manager at the side of the park, with the brains and McAllister at the side of the park, with the fans that we've got that support them week in, week out, we can't beat Livingston. If we're saying that to ourselves, we've got a big problem. I don't think we are saying it to ourselves. So the manager needs to put the confidence in the players and come away with the 3 points. And I think they will.
What's the actual result? It's the performance level I was on against the Puddle. That's what I want to see back.
That's what I'm saying. But there was somebody mentioned we need to be a wee bit bigger and get more aggressive. And I think maybe it was Fox, and I like most of the time what Fox says. I stand by it. But we did see that performance. We've seen an aggressive performance. You don't need to have big beasts of guys. But we're saying that the Livingston team are all 6'5", they're all big, they're all into. Well, it doesn't matter. I can get into somebody that's a fit tall on me, no problem. You know what I mean? It's your attitude going into it. Don't feel intimidated. If you feel intimidated, you're beat straight away. So it doesn't matter the size in the park. It's what's in your heart. Like get into it, man. Get into them on Sunday. Don't let them kick us. Make sure you kick them. I didn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, but just get in about them, get in their faces, get your foot on their throat, and do not take it off until 90 minutes, 95 minutes, whenever the game finishes, and make sure you've won the game.
You're all.
Can I come in, Ox?
Of course. I thought you went when you heard the words lead through the head.
No, I think Big Al's right there. Everything we showed in the Celtic game, which everybody said was tremendous. It was the best feeling we've had at Ibrox for many a long year. Wonderful to watch. Everything about the way the team played was tremendous. And somehow or other, we are unable to replicate that. And no matter who we put on the park, it looks as if we can't replicate it. Even if you took players in isolation and says, can you play the same way as you did against them on the 29th? Yes, I can do it. When they get in the park, it seems as canny. So there's something that the players need to get out of their head, whichever the case may be. But we need to do something. You're right. Everybody says it. Let's go out there. And all the Rangers fans, they're following them. And there's the Rangers players, all they need to do is turn it on, do what they need to do, and get stuck right in. Because it's the world's their oyster. The world's their oyster, and that's for sure.
Ryan Jack sounded a wee bit flat as well. I mean, obviously, it was a bad result. Let's be honest, they shouldn't be shouting to the rooftops. We've had a bad result.
Sorry, Ox, would you swap him out for McCrory? Because that's what I think. I Ryan Jack, but I think McCrory's. People were speaking, and I've harped on about him last season and that. Mm-hmm. I think that's our captain. I think that is the guy that should be in the middle of the park week in, week out, because I think you're going to get a performance from him. And I'd keep the midfield, but I'd swap him out for Jack.
Right. The guy who disappointed me was particular Wednesday night was a guy who I thought was the man of the match in my previous league game. Was Arfield. I thought he was appalling.
He's going to blow hot and cold, I think.
I thought he was appalling on Wednesday night, whereas I thought he was excellent in the game before. But that's just football, I suppose, Rudy.
Aye, I agree with you. I thought Arfield had a fantastic game against Scott Brown. He shut him down, never gave him a minute's peace, harried him to try, stoked him for get spraying the ball about, passing the ball about, and then was up there in the box trying to create chances when he got the opportunity. He had a fantastic game on the 29th, Wednesday night, I thought it was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And I don't know what happened to him. I don't know because, I watched the presser that he spoke in and he spoke a good game. But on Wednesday night, he was just absolutely dreadful. So he was. And I don't know whether it was because he's got Stephen Davis beside him or whatever the case was.
Big Al, I mean, maybe you could have played them all and maybe, again, you only bring in Davis and you don't go with Defoe. But that's all hindsight. Aye, that's all
hindsight. Look, between Cushy and JFK, I took last night. I took both their points on board. I think personally, I was wanting them to play because they're two bespoke signings, if you like. Yeah, but I can take both points of view. If they're not
that was
like a wise man says, I don't want them getting fit in the Rangers team. I think that's you I'm talking about.
I've never been called that before.
Buddha.
In fact,
Buddha.
The last time was in nativity play.
Oh, was it? Aye. What are you doing hanging about schools? Anyway.
I went there at the time. See that last night, GFK and Cushy, that was Rangers Radio, Nixon and Frost it was.
Oh, it was good, aye. You were like Jeremy Paxman there, but you were like a conductor in an orchestra, just
Nixon and Frost.
It's a good film, Nixon and Frost.
It was more like Waldorf and Stadler.
Poor Cushy's not here to defend himself.
Cushy makes a lot of good points, like.
Oh, Cushy's a wise man.
Gerard is open to criticism. Of course he's open to criticism. That's of course he is. And Cushy's right, he'll support him. I'll support. I was a wee bit late in getting on the train, but I'm on the train because I want him to be successful. But we need to move forward. We need to put that in the past and get moving forward. True.
On you go, Bridgman. You're trying to get in.
I was just saying, like the guys all agree to a certain extent. They agree that something wasn't right last night, and we can interchange players all we want. But I do think most folk in their hearts would turn and say we should have played with a team that would beat Celtic, or as close to that as possible. Injury and suspensions allowing. That's what we should have played with. And then the luxury players, because that's what I would call them now, is Davis and Defoe. Watch the game going, and if they can come in, brilliant. If they can't come in, they can't come in. Because number one, we're away from home, and it's a big battle against Kilmarnock, who we haven't beat yet for quite a while in the league. So it's really tough. It's really tough, and it might be that you have to sacrifice these guys that can't play there on the bench. That's the way I would have played it, and I'm sure a lot of folk now, I think hindsight says a lot of folk would probably think the same thing.
No.
You know, I was looking forward to seeing the two players. I didn't think Defoe would start, but he did, and he got the goal. So up into the first 20 minutes, all right, wasn't he? It's a goal. That's he's made his living it. He wasn't great in the whole game, but Stephen Davis showed glimpses to me that he's still going to be a good player for us.
Who's that to?
On you go, Blue. You come in, mate.
All I was waiting there from Bridge was plan B is do plan A better. Christ, you've got to, if you're going to sign these players, you're going to have to play them. And the fact was last night, there was mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I think there was mistakes made, big mistakes made. And the fact was, if he's going to play that formation, he needed to, if he's got an argument with Barisic, he needs to sort it out because he's the other wing back. Andy Halliday's no. So do that or you don't play the formation. That's what you bought the lad for. Get it sorted. I thought we should have played Ross. I said on Tuesday night we should have played Ross McCrory because unless you got Ross McCrory to hold the anchor or Koulibaly, it's up to him. He's the manager. I'm not going to say one way or the other. You've got somebody to anchor the midfield, which releases the likes of Davis and Jack to move forward and harry the opposition. And for me, I'd have played Arfield at the point of the diamond where he played against the Mankey mob because, like everybody's saying, he had a fantastic role there. Why change it? And then at a later date, if you get to the hour mark and Stephen Davis you're expecting and Jermaine Defoe to be knackered by that time, then change it. Bring on your wingers. And then, as I said again on Tuesday night, if you've got Ryan Kent and Daniel Candia standing on the sideline waiting to come on at the hour mark when you're knackered, that must be a horrific sight, So that's what I'm saying. So for me, there was mistakes made, but you can't just keep playing the same formation end to end because teams will learn how to do it. It's happened to better teams than us. It happened to Arsenal, for Christ's sake, when they had all that tippy-tappy football, and people eventually learned how to shut that down. And they could hardly win a game for a wee while, and that's when they went out and signed the like of Danny Welbeck. So, it happens to everybody else, so you can't keep playing the same way. You've got to vary it. And I'd like to see this go for that big 6'3" striker that we were interested in from down south. Again, so you can mix it up and ask different questions.
But we've got a 6'3" striker there, big laugher.
Right. He's no the best at winning winning balls in the air.
You're talking about a high ball.
So you can play.
I don't think you should mention Big Lafferty and boys, mate. Let's get yourself on mute and we'll have a tune.
There is a star whose beaming ray is shed on every clime. It shines by night, it shines by day, and ne'er grows dim with time. It rose upon the banks of air, it shone on Doon's clear stream. 200 years again and more, yet brighter grows its beam. Let kings and courtiers rise and fall, this world has money star o'er Abbey Barnes, though he was but a ploughman lad and wore the hodden grey, all Scotia's greatest bards were bred aneath a roof o' stray, to sweep the strings of Scotia's lyre. It needs nae classic lore, it's mother wit and native fire that warms the bosom's core. Let kings and courtiers rise and fall, this world has many turns, but brightly beams abin them all. The star o'er Abbey Barnes, let kings and courtiers rise and fall, this world has many turns, but brightly beams abin them all. The star o'er Abbey Barnes.
Well, that was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Tune.
I don't know who selected that Abbey Burns number. That was brilliant.
That's my daughter's tune.
Sorry?
That's my daughter, Mackenzie, my oldest daughter. She was 12 yesterday.
All right, mate.
So it's 25th, aye. Was that you live in the kitchen, Bridge?
When?
Singing that song.
Oh, good, lovely. Good said that. Is that
you
you singing,
tenor's voice. Aye.
I wish, did you say?
It's a long time since Briggs got his summer A notes.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, by the way, was the bad at his peak all Briggs at the chat, Big Al?
Is he, aye?
I did my bit, boy, in the 60s. I did my bit in the 60s.
Just to sidetrack it slightly, if you were on a karaoke box, what would you sing?
Brother Gil Van Morrison, mate.
All right, that tells you a lot about you. I thought you were maybe Mary a Mustang Sally, man. But that's all right. Rudy, is that Rudy Bear? Rudy Bear. I can see your Rose Garden. I beg your pardon. Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
This is your one. I'm too sexy for my mankini. Too sexy for my mankini. No way, I'm disco dancing.
Love it.
And of course, yours was Two Little Boys, Al.
No. My favourite one is I Did What I Did for Maria by Tony Christie. You know that, Chan?
Tony Christie, yeah.
Aye, I did what I did for Maria.
That must bring back memories for you then, Al, huh? Maria.
I knew a Maria once. I did take my Rangers top off.
You'll get me emotional. Blue Shadow, what about yourself in the karaoke?
Aye, sorry, Blue Shadow. Well, he's a Kenny Rogers man.
Oh no, you wouldn't get me near a karaoke machine, but I suppose
Gary Glitter's not so popular.
I
want to be in my gang. I
would reckon the standard of my voice would be something like that Lemmy dude or something like that. You know, a bit of Damaged Case or something like that.
Ace of Spades. Yes, man. Ace of Spades. That's a good song.
By the way, you ought to see Fox when he gets up and does the gambling, mate.
Oh, does he?
Oh, you've never seen anything like it. The pub
does
empties.
He like?
The pub empties.
The pub empties. But does Fox like Kenny Rogers?
Oh, he just walks up, mate. Just goes on. You shut your ears, you shut your eyes. You think nothing like Kenny Rogers.
You know, sorry, this will maybe bring a wee smile to your face. No long after I met my missus, went to that Australian bar in Glasgow, right? And I was still drinking at the time. It was like a Wednesday night, and I thought it was a karaoke, right? But it wasn't. It was a bandioke. You ever seen one of them? It's a band.
A band. Yeah.
Aye, but they've no words. So I goes up, and I said to the boy, "I'll sing the Reef song. What's it called again? Hold Your Hands," right? Because I knew that I kind of, and I'm saying to the boy, "Where's the words?" He says, "It's bandioke, pal. You need to know the words." You're having a laugh, like, But anyway, I eventually struggled through. I got through it, got a round of applause after about 4 old pensioners, man. Bandioke, quality, man.
Bandioke.
Bridge was good at that. Anyway, well done.
I like the Wild Thing. Foxton, I like the Wild Thing. I was into that. Wild Thing. Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Back in the 60s?
Oh, yes.
You make my heart sing.
Those were the days, boy. Those were the days.
Who sang that?
You don't get that mixed up with the Wild Side of Life?
No. That's your number. That's your number. Everybody for Partick sung that song.
You need my love.
There you go.
Anyway, we digress. We'll be joined by a caller. It might be Simon Kill.
No, it's not. It's Tracy. How you doing, guys? All right?
How we doing, Tracy? What's your karaoke piece?
What's my karaoke piece?
Aye.
Flashdance, Irene Carter.
Oh, quality.
Oh, she was some welder.
Sophistication.
She was a good welder, actually,
aye.
Good dancer, too.
But was it the singing or the dancing you modelled yourself on, Tracy?
Not one of them at all.
How we doing, Tracy? What's on your mind?
I'm all right, guys. How are you? All right. Just talk about war, all right? And I hate actually dissing any player at all for Rangers, right? But I think a few months ago he was actually saying, he always wanted to play for Forest, right? And we obviously took him for there, right? And, I just don't think his heart's in it whatsoever. I feel as if, after Wednesday, and I'm not just saying, I've never rated the guy whatsoever at all, and I've always said it in the lobby that he's not for me. But I just don't think he plays. He's got no passion, no consistency. Had a good game in the 29th. I know we were going to mention that again, but to me, when he goes on the pitch, he was worried about his hair. I don't think he deserves a blue jersey, and I don't think he's for us. And I know Martin O'Neill, we thought he was going to go, and I was actually hoping he was going to go, but he didn't. Do you know what I mean? But I think with Worrell is that we took him on loan and he had to play so many games, so it's in his sort of contract sort of thing, you know. But
I think the rumour
is injuries at all.
I think the rumour is, Tracy, that's reached now. He's reached the whatever it was that they stipulated in the loan contract. You know, however many games it was. Apparently, he's reached that now. The rumour is. Would you play Katic ahead of him? Because there was a bit of a debate on the show the other night with a couple of the guys about Katic. You know, would you play Katic ahead of him?
I would actually. He's a young boy. I know he had a few personal problems there with his dad being ill and things like that. But that's and he had a bit of sort of the compassionate leave, and I think that's all I'm done with now. I like Katic and Golston together. Obviously, Golston's injured. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to happen now.
And he's your player, Tracy. Yeah.
What?
And he's your player.
Yep.
To me, I see more passion in him. I don't think Worrell has any passion whatsoever. I just think his heart's not in it. He's always said that he always wanted to play for Forest because he's always wanted to play them since a young boy. And to me, like Halliday, as we said about I just going on to let somebody want to play for their team that they've supported all their life. To me, Halliday, we never ever thought Halliday was going to get to where he was now under Steven Gerrard. He's actually, obviously, I think him and Steven Gerrard have a very, very good sort of bond, and he's obviously seen something in him. And
Tracy, you just got across you. Have you checked the lobby?
My phone's playing up, so.
All right, I'll check anybody that's in the lobby. Somebody's put a message in for you. Brilliant. Carry on.
All right. Anytime. Anyway, sorry. Halliday's a total different man. Do you know what I mean? Total different player. And I love Halliday because he's one of us. And I always think you've got one of us that also they always get 100%. Do you know what I mean? They play for the jersey. And I'm old school, right? So I see Rangers for years ago. Do you know what I mean? When we did have a lot of people playing for the jersey. And sometimes I feel as if now, and I'm no disrespecting any player at all in the Premier League, like the Scottish SPL or the EPL or anything like that. But I think now that players are more sort of like Roosies, if you know what I mean.
Mercedes, with more Rangers supporters playing on Wednesday night than we've had for a long number of years.
I know, but see now though, I feel as if, like, you know, like say Barisic,
they're no real men.
I like him, but I feel as if, you know, they're just, it's as if they don't want to go in for it. And I know it's their livelihood, do you know what I mean? And if they hurt themselves, then, you know, that's their career there if it's a bad injury, do you know what I mean? And some footballers don't come back for it, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Scottish football is different to the EPL. It's a very aggressive football that we have. And I don't see that in our team.
And
I don't see a lot of it get in there. That's
the point that Blue Shadow was made to bring Blue in. Another Rangers supporter in the team would have been young McCrory on Wednesday night.
Aye, but I think you can't have everybody a blue nose. Do you know what I mean? Just like the Saints can't have everybody a Saints supporter. Do you know what I mean?
Change the whole world.
You know, but that's just my point. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good point, Tracy. Blue.
I don't think his heart's in it, by the way. I don't think his heart's in it at all.
Who, Worrell?
Nah, I don't think his heart's in it.
Do you know, it's even more simpler than that for me. I just don't think he's good enough. Blue Shadow, on you comment.
Worrell thinks he's a superstar. He thinks he can this is Scottish football. He can coast it at 70%. I said that the other night. I'd have in the office and say, well, you've got a choice, son. You either because the fact was, if you noticed after they went 2-1 ahead, Worrell started playing. He was pushing like hell. So that's what he was capable of. For the first 70 minutes, he gave us absolutely nothing. I think good stuff. Way back down the road, and we'll get somebody else in who can do your job for you. Because either that, or he's got to give us some sort of undertaking that we're never ever going to see anything like that from then again. Whether I would believe that.
I would actually take him down the road. Actually.
But for the pub.
GFK, what be yourself?
But what I mean is, if you're in the pub and you see him in the pub, you take him down the road.
No, he's too young for me. I could be
He's a handsome big boy. Oh, but you're
thanks very much.
JFK.
Oh, yeah. You know my feelings on Worrell, Oxshire. I've said here many, many times. I'd have chased him weeks ago, but he's consistently played him, so I don't know what the love-in is there. But nah, for me, he thinks he's better than he is, and he's a poor defender. I know some people are saying he's only a young boy and give him a chance, but how many chances can you give him? He's trying to play the ball about there like Franz Beckenbauer on Wednesday night, and it's never going to happen. So for me, I'd get rid of him. If we could, I would get rid of him right away. If we can stick him in the reserves or something, keep him away for the first team, then I'll be happy with that. But for me, no, he's a waste. I'm not just saying that after Wednesday, and you know that. I said it weeks and weeks ago. We need to get rid of him. And a few guys on here were saying, we need to give him a chance. But no, for me,
no,
he's no use. No use to me.
So, I don't know if anybody's seen it. Can I just come across you, Tracy? Sorry. Nothing to do with us. I don't want to. That's all right, Tracy. It's nothing to do with us. I just want to say it. Neil Warren's left Hibs, right? So we move on and we carry on, Tracy, and you come.
Well, my dad was there Wednesday night at Rugby Park, right? And my dad was saying every Rangers fan round about him was saying the same. Everyone was saying get him to, where.
Are we in a defensive crisis now?
Oh, defensive crisis.
Oh, that sounds good,
Worrell's no good. Macaulay's too old. He needs to play with some. Goldson's injured. And Katic, if we bring Katic in, he's not had game time. So that's exactly the same as what we're saying. You know what I mean? We've got a defensive crisis. Where's the young boys that came through? Was it the Aiden boy? Rudy, you'll know. Remember the young boy who was coming through, played a few games? Aiden Wilson, sorry, yeah. Where's that young boy?
Oh, he played a couple of games, didn't he? And I thought he quitted himself.
Look, him and Big McCrory kind of came in at the same time. Look competent enough. So is that guy's that was a year and a half ago. Where's he?
Totally dropped out of the picture for some reason. But can I just go back to this Worrell thing? I think we're putting too much emphasis on that boy. I don't get me wrong, I don't rate him at all. It's when he said he wanted to go back to Nottingham Forest, I'm totally happy with that because he's no the quality that we're looking for.
He's got to say that, Rudy.
But I know he has, Ox, but the point...
Didn't he say it though?
I think he has, Al, and I'll tell you why once Rudy's finished. Go on.
We've got more problems than just Joe Worrell. You watch Wednesday night, it wasn't just Joe Worrell that was the problem. You go back to Dundee, you go back to Livingston, you go back to Kilmarnock when we played them before. These games dropped all the 8 points. It wasn't Joe Worrell that was the problem. More times than
Tavernier.
In any of these games, you look at our midfield. It's been our midfield that's been the problem. They haven't won their battles in the midfield like they didn't on Wednesday night, and they haven't created enough for the forwards. I've said it all season. The first half of the season, I've been saying it ad nauseum. Nothing's changed for me. Just because we played the Tims after the park on the 29th is neither there for me, because they lost the midfield battle again on Wednesday night. So they did. So we've got more problems than just Joe Worrell. Don't get me wrong, the sooner he's gone, the better. But it's no just what happened on Wednesday night wasn't just down to Joe Worrell. When he put that blunder, we had another 70 minutes, 65, 70 minutes of that game left. And we fell apart and we won nothing in the midfield after that. Nothing.
He's got a point. He's got a good point of view there.
I think you have got a good point, right? Just saying that, right? I'm not just blaming Joe Worrell, but I think we really do need a good creative midfielder. I've said that for ages, do you know what I mean? There's nothing there. Also, as well, I think with Rangers, I don't know what it is, but see soon, I think when they score the first goal, right, they seem to play well, right? But see, after it, and then somebody else scores, right, the opposite team, I feel as if they just get disheartened. Do you know what I mean? They need to pull their socks up and say, right, that's it, right, they scored, let's get into them. There's nothing there. It's as if there's no passion. It's like pure defeatist. Do you know what I mean? It's as if they're giving up. It's not the Rangers I used to know, and I know it's a different team, but it's hard to watch it when, do you know what I mean, you have passion for your team. It's hard to watch.
The point that Rudy's maybe making and the point that Tracy's making. And this is not a go at Tav the player. Are we short a leader and a focal point on the pitch? Now McGregor looks as if he's a focal point. Right position for me personally. Big Al, JFK.
I've said before that I think the captaincy should be taken away from him. We've done it mid-season before. He's not a leader on the park. And we know the great leaders we've had who can show the players what it's all about. But for me, no, I mean, he's definitely not a leader of men. No, we've got Stephen Davis here now. Should they take the captaincy off Tav and Geety Davis mid-season? I don't see why no. It was done with Ferguson and big Amarusa, wasn't it? So why not try and get a bit of continuity into the squad, try and get a bit of leadership, because we are missing the leadership. I know it's easy for the sort of a go at Worrell, but Rudy's right there. It wasn't just Worrell. There's quite a few other missing after the 20th minute. But no, for me, Tav just it looks kind of powder puff at times. So for me, I would definitely be looking for another captain. If he's not going to do it this season, he must name another captain for next season.
All right, okay. Big Al.
Come in. Oh, sorry, Oxley.
Big Al. Then you, Bridge. You
hello.
Keep your powder dry.
Hello. Can you hear me all right?
I thought you were doing that.
Sorry.
Bandioki again.
Hello. For me, I said that at the beginning. He's captain. Even people say, he's a captain, but he leads by example. Well, his example's no good enough for me. We've got a captain. We've got a ready-made captain, and I'll bang the drum for the boy again. McCrory, he's a ready-made captain. He's a decent enough-looking guy. He's got a no bad. In fact, he's got a pretty hot Sheila. She's on that Instagram and that. That's good for the club. He can play. Get him in the team every week in the middle of the park. Put that captain's armband on that guy, and he will show you he is a leader. He's a leader of men. He's ready for it. The guy. Make him the fulcrum of the team. Get everybody. He'll get in your face. He's a young boy. I'm not caring if Davis isn't doing it, if Defoe's not doing it. That boy's got enough balls, I think. He'll get in their faces. He'll get into Lafferty's face. He'll get into Golson's face. He'll tell McCall if it's expected.
Yeah, he's definitely got cojones, mate. Got cojones.
Aye. He must take cojones to a Sheila like that. Look, I need to go, guys. I just came back and she's looking through the window and she doesn't look that happy. So, thanks very much for taking my call. I think it's because she's just spotted.
All right, Al, if we don't see you again, all the best for the future, all right?
I'll be fine, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you as always. So
cheers, big man. Care. All the best. Don't be a stranger, mate.
Thank you, no worries. Take care, gentlemen. Yes. Bye.
See you all.
What a man. Frenchman.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on what they were saying there. I think everybody agrees. To all intents and purposes, we were very poor on Wednesday night. Let's put it politely. We were very poor on Wednesday night. And it wasn't just Worrell. But for me, the three key men in our team are your twin centre-halves and your goalkeeper. There's your three key men. And I'm afraid those guys failed. But they weren't alone. Because you mentioned Tavernier. Hardly put a foot right, shall we say, to be honest, in that game. But we're not going to start criticising everybody. Just say we played poorly. And that's all there is we can say.
Here, Bridge.
Blue Shadow, any thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with Rudy. It's sort of the midfield has been the problem, and it's been the problem for me. It's been the problem ever since Koulibaly got himself injured. We were doing really well defensively when Koulibaly was playing that position before he got himself injured, and then he put Ryan Jack into that position. For some reason, when Koulibaly came back, he didn't move Jack out of that position. And for me, Ryan Jack's not a central defensive midfielder. He's a central midfielder. And we need somebody, I say the only one for me that's playing well at the minute is young Ross McCrory. And we need that man in there to lock up the defence, to give the wing backs the confidence to go forward for me more than anything else. And then we might perhaps get stop conceding all these stupid goals and costing ourselves points in the process.
Aye. I think sometimes, I mean, would it be fair to say we overreact to defeats, and certain games we overreact to victories, but the defeat wasn't just about losing the game on Wednesday night, it was a performance for me, Rudy Byrne. Two things. If they'd have broke away and scored 3 goals and we carried on playing like we did in the first 20 minutes, hit the bar, hit the post, and the ball kept kicking off the line, you come away and you say, well, we get mugged, but we after, did we have another chance after the next 70 minutes? Did we really?
I don't think we did, Ox, and I agree with you 100%. For me, it's not so much the defeat. A defeat's always hard to take, regardless of who you're playing. Dropping points is never a good thing. But it's the manner of the defeat in Wednesday night and previous games and all that we've spoke about in the past. It's the manner of the defeat. It's when you get to a point when you're sitting watching your team and that nothing, absolutely nothing is working. Nothing, no area of the park is working. That's how it looked in Wednesday night after 20 minutes. There's no chances being created. The forwards are not getting the service that they need to put the ball in the back of the net. There's not enough chances being created, you know. So it's the manner of the defeat that's more annoying than anything else. Because pound for pound, we've got the quality players. They haven't. We have. Yet that's not how it looked for about 70 minutes of that game. And by the time you get to the end of that, you're sitting there thinking, Kelly actually deserved to win that game. Because we deserved nothing at the game because of the performance for the 20th minute onwards, in my opinion. You know, and I know the two goals that Kelly scored were 2 big blunders. I know that, I get that. You know, I mean, we're all banging on about Worrell. But Griggsy should have done better for the second one. Macaulay should have done better for the second one. Ryan Kent tried to slip a pass, I think it was to Tav that set the boat to Kelly boy off in the run with the ball in the first place. His pass was too short and Tav couldn't get to it. You know, so out of the park there was mistakes being made. And then they just go to a point where they just didn't play. It was like they just stopped playing. So, aye, it's the manner of the defeat. As you say, Ox, if you're rattling the crossbar 3 times, you know, and your ball's getting cleared off the line, their goalie's having an absolute pulling worldies off left, right and centre. You come away for the game thinking, could have scored 6-7 goals in that game. We should have done. Their goalie had a great game. We cracked the crossbar 3 times. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a woeful performance for 70 minutes in a game when we still had all that time left to create chances and take the 3 points, and we failed miserably.
All right, for the next half an hour, we're going to be looking forward to Sunday's game and what your team would be, so start thinking about that. But
I'm still here, by the way.
What's that, Tracy?
I'm still here.
Oh, we know that, Tracy, don't worry, we know that. But we'll be joined by George Logan. Evening, George.
How you doing, all right?
How you doing, mate? All right?
Aye. I just listened to Stephen Gerrard's interview the day now. I'm at 6s and 7s with the whole hang-ups, because the other night that I wanted him to play a 4-4-2. As soon as I seen him playing a 4-4-2 after 25 minutes, half an hour, I thought, this is not right. But he's right in what he's saying. See what he said. See up until we lost that goal, Ox, we looked good. Came out, we were creating chances and things like that. Morelos hit the post and things like that. So we did look all right. So I don't know if it was the right formation. And maybe just going forward, I think it's maybe just, and we need to, I keep on saying this, maybe just Kilmarnock's a horrible place to go now, Ox, and that formation going forward maybe actually work out for us. I can have been played well at 4-3-3. We tried a 3-5-2 at Motherwell, never worked out. So I'm thinking he's maybe has got it right, Ox. And it was just one of the horrible games. And like I said the other night, they 2 boys doing their debuts in that game was never going to work out very well either, because they didn't take calm-ons, that team, Ox. And if we went to a 4-3-3, it was 4-3-3 versus their 4-3-3, and it probably just ended up a bit of a stalemate. So I think I'm looking at it now, I've been backing forward, and I think a 4-4-2 was probably the right way to go the other night and try something different. It never worked out for us, and we never got the points. But I sort of slagged the manager the other night, and it was probably wrong in slagging him, because looking at the way we did play, we did start all right, Ox. So maybe a 4-4-2 is probably the way to start going forward.
I think if you watch the first 20 minutes, you couldn't criticise the manager. But if you watch the next 70 minutes, and particularly the first 15 minutes of the second half, when we never changed, then that's when maybe he's due a bit of criticism. What do you think, Tracy?
Sorry, what did you say there? Sorry, I was never sleeping.
Oh, see, you weren't listening. You want the questions and you're not listening when you get them.
I'm sorry. I was actually...
Right, go and sit in the corner. Go and sit in the corner.
The naughty step.
Right. Steven Gerrard, he's due a wee bit of criticism, just maybe for no changing it, but we did play okay the first 20 minutes, but for the next 70 we weren't brilliant.
I'm going to agree with George Logan, right, because I think the formation was wrong on Wednesday. I actually thought it was going to be all right, but then I thought, no, I prefer a 4-4-2. But at the end of the day, I actually thought we were going to go there on Wednesday and win. I did have a feeling, but then see this plastic pitch scenario too. I think a lot of players have got into a heat of plastic pitch, do you know what I mean? And they get the sort of heebie-jeebies, as I say, before they go on it, do you know what I mean? And think it's a plastic pitch. We've got a few plastic pitches coming up soon, do you know what I mean? We've got Livy and we've got Cowdenbeath. Cowdenbeath is a plastic pitch, isn't it?
Aye. Yeah.
Aye, it is, I thought that.
I thought it was frozen.
No, it's tarmac, never mind grass. It's not even it's tarmac. It's the worst ground in the world. It's grass, isn't it?
It's a racetrack.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think they should do, actually? They should actually let them smell a wee bit of no grass as in the narcotics, but a wee bit of grass and say, right, this is what you're playing on, do you know what I mean? You know, like psychologically, and say, right, this is what you're playing on, that's it. Because I think they've all got it in their head, they're going to get injured, and that's why they don't flipping get in for anything.
Yeah, we went to Killie and we won quite comfortable in the League Cup and played well. In fact, the middle of the game we were absolutely excellent. You know, Morelos scored a hat-trick that day.
I know, but we went on Wednesday and we got beat.
Exactly. That's the point that one of the journalists made. If Morelos isn't scoring goals for us, we're not winning matches. And they have tried up in the last few weeks.
No, but I'm sorry, no. I think, see, Defoe, right, he scored the other night, right, but I don't think Defoe's a sort of player. He is older, right, but I don't think he's a player to touch the ball quite a lot, but I think when he gets in the box, he's there to kick it. He's greedy. He's there to just put it in the back of the net. To me, that's all I'm happy with. If he does it, he does it, and that's that. Good for us, do you know what I mean? The more goals, the better.
He's a poacher. That's what... He's a poacher.
Yeah. I think all fair, and I'll take this to George, pretty all fair. Fox said, if Defoe's successful in the way in this 6 months, we'll win the league, because that would mean that he scores a lot of goals. George?
I think Jermaine Defoe will score a lot of goals, Ox, and the boy said the other night that he's renowned for no creating goals and no looking like he's doing anything and then bang getting a couple of goals. And if he can do that for us, we'll go. I keep saying this, and I'm going to continue to say it. I still think we're going to win the league, Ox, and I'm going to continue to say it until it's far by, because they've got to go to Kilmarnock. They've still got to go to Livingston. They've dropped points at places they didn't think they were going to drop points. So we'll drop points. They'll drop points. We need to buck up our ideas. I'm honest, heart to heart. I think we've got a better team than them, and I think we'll pick up more points. Obviously, they've got a 1 game advantage in the 3 points now. I think we'll pick up more points than them. Going between now and the end of the season. My only worry is like you're going on to talk about now, is setting up our defence now, Ox. I don't know how we're going to do that. You can't play Worrell and Goldston's injured, so we need to fix that one. Once I honestly believe we'll still win the league, Ox, and that might be blue tinted glasses, but I still believe it.
Hope you're right, George. I hope you're right.
George, I think you're right. I think, George, I'm with you, because I'm like totally.
And remember, when we do win the league, Tracy's all invited us to her place for a party.
You can come to my place. I know, you can come to my house, don't worry about it. There are no Rangers supporters, but I am, but my house, you know what I mean?
Rudy will be there, mate.
In Park, by the way. We've got 12 games to go, by the way. We'll get 13, one's Cowdenbeath. 12 league games. So, 12 times 3, 36 points. Trying to work that out there.
Tracy, and the split.
What?
And the split. And you come, GFK.
Aye. Look, I don't know if it was Rudy or Cushy number it had said, and I totally 100% agree with him. Fred up front, himself plays well, but he doesn't look as if he's the type of player that can play with another man beside him, so that will reflect in my team later on. the goals have dried up for him, and I was expecting a lot for the team on Wednesday, as I said, because I'm like George and the rest that I wanted to watch Morelos and the four up front, but it didn't work for us. We're blowing hot and cold now. We can't put a run of 3 games together, guys. So we need to be careful what we wish for here. I love George's optimism, that we're going to win the league, and of course I think that as well until it becomes mathematically impossible. But we always seem to shoot ourselves in the foot all the time, and I think it was Blue Shadow said earlier on, there's going to come a time here, guys, that people are going to question the gaffer's place at Ibrox. So that might not be a long way away, because I still think it should be good to at least the end of next season. But that might not happen if things don't go the way that we want it to go. So, Sunday's a kind of worry for me. No, because of the rotten pitch. I'm not going to blame that. I just think the team is playing the way they are now. Hot and cold. And the hammer throwers will be up against us on Sunday. So, I must admit, we have a bit of trepidation about it.
All right, we'll be joined by Bear Down Under. Evening, Bear.
Good morning, panel.
Good morning.
How are we?
How we doing, mate?
Yeah, good. First and foremost, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Australia Day from this part of the world.
A happy Burns Day for us.
Yes, and also, can I just say, it's been a great listening back to the shows the past couple of days. It's been more like a bit of a Jerry Springer show sometimes than a Rangers radio show, but great listening. And
I know I'll need to get GFK and Bridgeman off.
Bear, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm not taking any DNA tests. You're not my dad.
When we say to GFK, we want to meet your dad, Bridgeman walked on.
Great, loved everybody. It's been brilliant. Everybody obviously. I don't want to dwell too much on obviously what's happened. I think there's probably been enough said on your show. We're going to look forward, guys. And
how's the supporters club going, mate? How's the supporters club going?
Oh, obviously with the winter break that's happened, it's sort of we've not had many games and not many meetings, but it's been brilliant. The last time I spoke to you, we had our sort of Christmas function that was on, and that's obviously that was a sellout. Gary Stevens and Ian Ferguson there, and it was just a great night for the club, great fundraising, and more importantly, all the members and guests had an unbelievable night, and it turned into a bit of a won't say too much about what it turned into. Very big party. Absolutely.
And what about on the 29th? Did you have a few refreshments that day?
I'm still trying to get out of that, mate. At the end, I think I was running my tap off, swinging it in the air. I was that delighted, mate. It was an emotional night. It was something that as Bears all together, I'm sure you all the same. It was emotional. It was great to get that win in the manner we done it. But at the end of the day, it's in the past, that victory as well. It was a great night for everybody, every Rangers fan. But put a bit of a dampener on it with what's happened in the past coming days. But we've got to look forward, guys.
What's your team for Sunday? Bear Down Under. Who are you playing?
Well, first and foremost, I want to go back to basically. I think I was watching that game the other night, and I think I like, and I'm pretty sure Morelos does. I think he likes to go between the two centre halves. I think playing himself up there, he's just an absolute pain in the arse. Good, my friend. She's just, I think he likes to go in between the two centre halves. They don't know. It confuses two centre halves. Who's taking him? Is he coming to me? Is he going to them? That's what I want to see. I believe that he is our best player, and I want to utilise that too. So I want to go back to the wingers. I want to play Morelos self. Who plays that roles? And so, we've got a few options, but I want to go back to the 4-3-3. And I want to definitely see McCrory in there. That's what I can say about that.
All right, fair enough, mate. I'll take that round the panel if that's all right with you, yeah?
Absolutely.
Right, Tracy, what's your team for Sunday?
My team for Sunday is... Right, let me think. I would play, obviously, McGregor, Tav, Katic, or whatever you call him. I'm not too sure, right, but maybe Flanagan, right? I'm a sort of a bit on that. Halliday, Jack, Davis, Arfield, Kent, Morelos and Defoe.
All right, okay. Bridgeman.
My team for Saturday, it's Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday, actually.
Yeah, apologies. I actually think the manager will probably start with the same team, to be honest. I think he'll play Defoe and Davis again. I think he'll probably start with the same team. Because I don't see based on what his interview there, he was saying, as far as I can make out, I might be wrong, but I thought he said that he'd spoken to Worrell about it and got it sorted out to all intents and purposes. So he's maybe told him this can't happen again, here's your last chance or whatever. Like a lot of the guys, you're going to be mystified as to why he would play Worrell again. It might just be that the other guys haven't got it. If we've not got Goldson and he doesn't like Katic for whatever reason, I don't know. So I think he's going to have to trust in Worrell. So we could end up with the same team again. That's what I'll bet. I'll bet with the same team.
GFK, you've been thinking long and hard about this. I can see it in your face. The last time I seen you concentrate so much was a techie drawing.
Oh, hey, I was good at a techie drawing, mate. I was alright.
I know that.
I think the same as Bridger. I think that he probably will play the same team and the same formation as he did on Wednesday night. But the team I would like to see it would obviously be McGregor, Tavernier, Macaulay. He'll probably play Worrell, but I would pick Katic and then Halliday. And then I would drop Arfield and I'd play McCrory, Davis and Jack. And I'm a big fan of the wingers, so I'll have Candace and Kent with Alfredo up front. That's a team I'd play. I'd go to the 4-3-3 again, the same as the Bear. But I don't think he'll do that. But that's a team I would like to see.
Fair enough. Rudy?
I'd go with McGregor, Tav, Macaulay, Katic. If Barisic is fit to play, I'd have Barisic at left back. I'd go 4-3-3 again. I like to see Kent and Candace on the wings, Morelos up front. Midfield for me would be McCrory, Jack. I would drop Arfield as well and Stephen Davis. I'd have Defoe sitting on the bench and Arfield on the bench for later on in the game, depending on what's happening and what's needed.
Okay. Let me see. George Logan. Then Blue Shadow.
I wouldn't really argue with any of the teams, to be honest. I think he'll still go 4-4-2 on Saturday. I think Ross McCrory will play in front of the two centre halves. I think Katic will probably come in as well. But I think if Ross McCrory plays in front of the two centre halves, I think Candace will probably still got a place in the team. So it'll probably be 4-4-2. Candace on one side, Kent on the other side. Who will miss it for me? Maybe Ryan Jack, if I'm honest, because I think we need somebody to protect our centre halves. They're a bag of nerves, especially with Big Golson not being there. I think the other night, I'm not going to keep harking back to it, I think the other night there, Macaulay showed up for what he was as well as Worrell, and I can't have got to
Macaulay wasn't great in Wednesday night either.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he showed up as well. So a lot of the guys are naming good teams there. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the team's going to be. My honest opinion, I would play Big McCrory in front of two centre halves to give him that wee bit of protection. Arfield at the top of the behind the two strikers, and our two wingers and our two strikers up front. I think we'll go with the two strikers up front again as well. I think it'll be 4-4-2.
All right, Blue Shadow. Oh, we lost Blue.
Well, sorry there, bud.
That's all right.
Couldn't get off mute for a minute for some reason.
Right. A technical issue, not quite a bridge.
Not quite a bridge. His bloody think this would be work anyway. I think he'll play Worrell, unfortunately. But I'll give you my team anyway. I'd go McGregor, I'll go Tavernier, McCauley, Katic, Barisic, McCrory at central defensive midfielder, Jack and Davis in midfield, Arfield at the point, and Morelos and Defoe up front.
No, what surprised me about that, nobody in the press conference asked him about Barisic. Was that no surprising to you, Blue?
It's a perfect example to stir some shit from the Scottish media. Excuse my language, but that's just what they try and do. Give them a bigger spoon, they'll probably try and stir some more. But would it not be a valid football question, considering he wasn't even in the squad on Wednesday? That's the thing. Is the laddie fit or is he no? Gerrard said he's fit. If he's fit and he's not playing his number one fullback, that's a problem, and it's a problem for me that needs solving. As you know, I've said this before. So I don't think you can leave out a player. If you've got a personal problem, you need to get it sorted one way or the other. You can't allow that to influence you and no play your best players.
I'm going to come in here. Do you know, I think Jerry and I don't, nothing against Gerrard, but do you know, I think he takes the nip a wee bit. I think he's really wanted to do well for us, right? And I think after the situation with, Barisic the other day, when he probably stubbed his toe or something, and and Gerrard sort of thought, well, you know what, he sort of tapped the place 55 times. I don't know if Gerrard was saying, 55, obviously we're going for 55 titles, or like he was sort of mocking him and saying, was it just nothing? Do you know what I mean? There might be a wee bit of an up there. We don't know. We don't know what happens in the dressing room or anything else. Do you know what I mean?
I personally thought it was a dig up in Tracy. I thought Steven Gerrard made a dig up.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a nip? Is he took the nip?
He made a dig up when I saw that.
You can just imagine some of your people who are from the west of Scotland trying to work that one out, Tracy.
I know. A nip term.
Men never take a nip, but women do.
That's an old school, isn't it?
As a while since you done any of that, Jimmy.
Hey, you know that I'm a quite a handsome looking chap.
It's a while since I've done it too.
I've nipped a few bumps in my time.
Jimmy, it's a family show.
Hey, I'm talking about birds. Tweety pie. And
those ones.
All right. Hey.
Tweety pie.
You know what I mean?
Do you know the team that Blue Shadow put out would be my first choice if everybody was fit and up for selection. But I think Andy will play at left back because I don't think Barisic will appear, and I think Kent will go on the bench. No,
I think that'd be a huge mistake, Ox, putting Kent on the bench. I really do, because so far for me, especially in Wednesday night, he was the only one that looked to me that was trying to make something happen. The boy,
he's the best player on Wednesday night.
I absolutely, Jimmy. I agree with you.
I don't think he was our best player. I think he was one of our better players, but I think Morelos was still our shining light.
No. Can I put something to you guys for a second? Just going back on the Barisic point. I've had a bit of a concern with Barisic when he'd done his second hamstring, right? Do you guys maybe think the Scottish game is too fast and too physical for where he is and the state of his body just now? Maybe is that what it is, where he doesn't have as much time in the ball, it's faster. Maybe the boy's body isn't actually up to speed of what it needs to be to play our game.
The words of Steven Gerrard there. Him and Grezda, Barisic and Grezda have got to toughen up.
That's another one I was getting at. Next was come for the same league. Technically, you can be as good as you want. But if you can't take that tackle, you can't go with the speed, you're going to get, you know what I mean? And obviously, everybody plays that extra 20% and they leave the fit in. Is that where maybe the scouting department's got to look at as well? Is these guys can be technically good, but can they come with the demands, the physicality, the speed? Is, Scottish football gets a bit of a rap for whatever it is, but you can't take away the key elements. It is a physical, fast league, on playing and pretty much we all know what the surface is as well. But that's maybe something that I'm starting to concerned that maybe the boys needs to get in a shape to meet the standards of the SPL.
Good point.
I think the thing is, you can do all the coaching in the world, Bridgeman. You can have all the skill, all the ability. If you have no heart,
big part of the game, innit? Huge part of the game. Builds part of the psyche. If you've got the heart, you'll go for a lot of balls that possibly the smarter guys might not go for. But if you've got the heart, seriously, that shows it up so well. That's why I'm mystified. And I dare say most Rangers fans are, if not every single one of them. We go to the 29th and we play like demons. Every one is. They all play brilliant. Even the substitutes come on, play their part. Everybody's done it. Management group, coaches, everybody's all up for it. The whole team and club are fantastic. And all of a sudden, the very first competitive game after it looked bad, didn't it? They look as if they were the same players. But didn't seem to be a lot of heart in there. Don't want to take too much away from them, but that's the vision I see. They just didn't look right.
See, just on that one, Bridgman, sorry for bumping in there. See the last Livingston game at Livingston. I thought we never had a hurt in the team. I thought that full team looked, and they're a really aggressive team, and that's sometimes that's what you need to be. Their wee striker up front never gave their centre halves a minute. I can't remember the boy's name. The two wingers never gave their Tavernier in that a second, but the right backs were kicking lumps out and things like that. And see, when you go into these places, these guys are surviving. They've got to do everything you can to survive in this and get out of the point they can. We just looked feared that day, Bridge. We looked terrified. Agreed. We looked like we never had a hair. We thought we just had to show up there.
And by the way, I think they played with two up front that day. I think Morelos and Lafferty played from memory.
And Ajaria was in the midfield option. I thought, Ken, see, you want to see a guy with Ajaria's ability with a ball at his feet. I thought that should be his. He should be playing there. He got kicked off the park in the first couple of minutes. Never wanted nothing to do with the game. He wanted off there as quick as he could. So I think we've got to start want these games more than these guys. It's more important for us to get points for our team than it is for them to get their points. We're not just got to show up and get points off anybody now. We've got to fight for these points.
Here, George, here.
You've got to be the right attitude. Bird down under.
Oh, 100%. And you did bring it up, Nate, that Livingston game. After that Livingston game, I almost felt the same way as I do now after the Kilmarnock game, because the performance then was horrendous. But we just got battered that day. Physicality. That's getting back to what we were saying before about with Barisic. That this is going to be a battle. This is going to be an absolute physical battle on Sunday. And if these players aren't going to be ready for that, then sorry, I can't see us getting the result that we need. It's just that's what Livingston. Obviously, we're talking about surfaces, and which I don't want to go too much on, because as somebody said the other night, is we can't keep using it as an excuse. We can't keep using that one. But we've got to be able to go the right frame of mind and go in there and get the points. That's the priority.
I would have to agree with that. Mate. I mean, that's partly why I chose the players apart from Barisic that I did. They're the ones that in the squad that we've got that have got what Jock Wallace used to call character, and that's what you're looking for from the players. Characters to step out that, but character to step up to the battle and to take the points away from Livingston, because we've got to win that match on Sunday. Otherwise, there's going to be so much pressure on Gerrard. I think it could end up being detrimental to him.
Anyway, gentlemen and lady, we've reached that time of the evening, so I think it's only fair, before we go to Bridgeman, one of the pin-ups of Rangers Radio, give us the last word. Tracy.
I laughed the lady there, by the way. All I'm going to say is, go on the Rangers on Sunday, as the Rangers need us.
Bridgeman, she's taking a pee at you. Carry on.
I know. What can you say? Can I just say that it's been a marvellous night again tonight? Marvellous night tonight again. Really enjoyed it. Good discussion. Everybody up for the discussion as well. Fantastic. Well done, Oxford. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is a huge game. The next biggest game in our basically our future. This is it. It's coming up on us. We need to win it. So come on, Rangers. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers do need us. They really do.
Can I thank Tracy, Bear Down Under, George and Bridge, JFK, Rudy Bear, and of course Big Al and Blue Shadow for taking the time to join us here at Rangers Radio. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 3 o'clock on Sunday, because it's a 4 o'clock kickoff with a pre-match show. Take it away, old school boy.